Oder? So schnell.
Mama Mustache.
Yes.
Gloria von Tuten und Blasen.
She did her homework.
Hi and welcome back to my show On Air with Ocean. It's episode 8 now, and today I'm joined by host, activist and DJ Gloria Viagra. A legend.
Hi.
She's also called like Empire State Building of Berlin.
Of drag.
Of drag. It's so lovely to have you here, and I'm super excited because Gloria does drag since 1987.
Yes.
Great.
Before the war.
Yeah.
Let's say before the war.
Tell me, you were not born in Berlin, but you...
Yeah, no.
But you always say you were born in Berlin.
Mostly, yeah. Because I grew up, I came here when I was 5 years old.
Yeah.
And I grew up with walls still and stuff, so I'm a Berlin girl.
Yeah. How was it for you as a queer person? Did you know already when you were young that you were a queer person?
Yes, I knew for the others that something is wrong with me or something is different with me. So, I mean, with my sister, we always did fashion shows, like really in there. And we had these old Berlin floors with a long floor, flats with a long floor.
Yeah.
And so we always did catwalk and stuff, and like really was 5, 6, 7 years. And for sleeping, I always had long dresses.
Yeah.
And in school, already in primary school, they called me
Faggot.
Yeah.
gay.
We haven't that, yeah.
So yeah, I knew very soon something's different, wrong, whatever.
You lived with your mom.
Yes.
How was it with her? Like the acceptance of your mom? Like
I came to Berlin in 1972.
Yeah.
Got it. A while ago. And with my family, so we flew from my father because he was beating us. So I came here, and then we lived first alone with my mother, first with my aunt who helped us, and then with my mother, and then we always lived in a community. So I grew up very differently, very open-minded, very left-wing. Therefore was normal, like everybody's accepted, everybody is how he is and stuff. Even though I thought about it some days ago that my mama never took me, asked me what's about and we never really spoke about sex with my mom, even though we were watching her fucking with her boyfriend and stuff.
oh, you were watching
Different
her.
my sister and I was like I had sex with the girls of my kindergarten, so with like 9 years and stuff. So we started to experiment and stuff.
Okay.
And I had girlfriends till I was 16, 17 or
Yeah.
something. When I came out, it was a little bit late, like 20, 21. And then I told my mother, it didn't happen anything with this guy, but I told my mom, I fell in love with a boy. And I knew it. And I was like, if you knew it, why you didn't say before? Well, I was thinking after, but didn't tell her, I knew I loved boys. I knew I'm gay, but I didn't want it because I was afraid. I was not really self-confident and stuff. But also because I thought the way I grew up, it would be so typical, and everybody would say like, so typical how you grew up.
Oh.
And I didn't want this. And I didn't want the people to blame my mother because I was very proud of her that she's so political and stuff.
I know that you've been at the first Christopher Street Day, first Pride. It was the first one in Germany, 79.
Yeah.
You were there, I think, with your aunt?
No, with my mother.
With your mother.
I don't know if my aunt was there because we used to go to every demonstration.
Yeah.
What I liked a lot was the women's demonstration because the women were the one with really power, like Walpurgisnacht demo
But like in the 80s, the AIDS crisis started, and you were pretty young that time. Like how did you experience that? Like, was that present for you, or was that like something which was a little bit in the background because you haven't heard of it or anything?
Well, it came up, and then of course it was there because I was like to discover or like more and more prepared. Like I had girlfriends, but then I was I had no more girlfriends, and I said the next time I fall in love, I really fall in love, like a deep love, and I don't care if it's a man or a woman. So I really was preparing, and of course, and that was the time of my sexual opening and stuff. And then AIDS came up in '84, but yeah, it came closer and closer, and it was exactly the time when it came up. And then of course you were afraid to start with your sexuality, so it was a big issue, and you were afraid to die. I didn't do it. I mean, I was really afraid, and then I hate condoms. I have to say, I hate condoms. It was necessary, but So to survive, and I saw so many people dying. It really was like open walls and like flooding, and was discovering everything. But yeah, then the sexuality was like a real huge problem, because it was there. It was not already so openly talking about and stuff, but it was always there, like a big sword. And then you knew you can't do it. You're like cut it off from the great experience what they had, and the ones that did, they all were dying. The only thing you knew is like use a condom, and of course you did when you had sex, and well, mostly, not always. So and then if you didn't do it, then you were so afraid. And I know, I've been asked so many times from lesbian friends to give my sperm for a kid. And the only reason why I didn't do it, and I regret so much till today, was the reason because I was not tested, and I was afraid I'm maybe positive. I would have loved to have a kid and give sperm and stuff.
But we're going to talk about HIV in a later episode with Bobby Breakout, so this will be pretty soon. She's your sister.
Yes.
Sister in crime.
Sister in crime and everything. I love her to death.
So stay tuned, it will come pretty soon.
Yeah.
Yes. Mama Mustache.
Yes.
Gloria von Tuten und Blasen.
She did her homework.
And then it goes to Empire State Building of Drag.
Yeah.
And then in '98 you were in Ibiza, but was that the moment when you turned to Gloria Viagra?
Yes.
Because there's a story behind the name Viagra.
The story about it? Well, yeah, I had a name, von Tuten und Blasen, which was in German, it makes sense. And then I went to work the season in Ibiza, and then of course the Spanish couldn't pronounce it. That's the whole story actually.
Yeah.
And then this pill came up, and like this Berlin drag. I mean, the Berlin drag from the 80s and 90s was like very political, like being ironic even of the classic drag of sequins and feathers and stuff. And so we had like Tilly Kreuzfeld-Jakob and always funny names, you know, abusing it. So Viagra came up, and honey, I make them stand up.
Love it. But that's a story about Gloria Viagra. And you just kept it for yourself. So
no, just for the Spanish people.
No Tuten und Blasen anymore.
No Tuten und Blasen. Well, I do it, honey. I do it.
You have your band. It's called Squeezebox.
Yeah.
Since when do you have Squeezebox?
It's a rock band, with me and Sherry Wine from now LA, but from New York actually. So she moved to Berlin, and she said like, and there's always house music and stuff, and then in New York we had that thing called Squeezebox. Like every Friday we made it like with a live band and blah. I was like skeptical, like, oh, this wouldn't work and stuff. And then finally we did it. We found a band, like the Lesbians. Well, from time to time we had a man, but always our fabulous lesbians, like mother of the band, Jutta and stuff. Well, we made a theme of the party, and then we were looking for rock songs around, like everything from heavy metal to glam rock to pop rock and stuff. And this was hilarious because like a band, drag queens live singing, and then rock and roll, and people were like, the first two songs was like, and then they really loved it. The mixture of the audience was so hilarious, but they all loved it, and a lot of people came to us and was like, rock and roll is not really my theme, and then they freaked out at the party and had so much fun. This was really changing also the scene a little bit. It was amazing. Well, we started a world tour, like in Israel, in Leipzig. Well, but Leipzig rules. Leipzig is the best audience, I really have to say. Yeah, we did a whole cruise tour, cruise ship tour and stuff. And so yeah, and we're still booked in Leipzig for Pride. Always.
Great. This year?
This year not, well, this is fucking Corona time.
Next year. You heard that, Leipzig? They're coming back.
Leipzig rules!
So what was the highlight of Squeezebox?
I mean, Israel was quite a highlight. Playing Israel is amazing. But for me, the biggest highlight was in 2009 in the Berlin Pride and at the Siegessäule. Like a huge stage, and I was running from there to there because I had to say, I always thought I have to fill the stage and stuff. And then really, like, you see these people, like, I don't know, 150,000 people and stuff, and you do like, and they all do it, and it's like, this was my huge big highlight.
And you were there like, I can control you.
Yeah.
And now you go there.
And then we had Joey Arias as guest star and stuff. It was really like one of the biggest, And then I loved Sziget Festival in Budapest. This was always also cool.
And I heard you also did something with Beth Ditto.
Not with Squeezebox. I wanted her for the 15th anniversary, and I was celebrating with her one night, and then she made the goal. I said like, "Come on, said people like happy birthday," and she said, "Happy birthday, Squeezebox," and blah blah blah, and Squeezebox, blah blah blah. I wanted to bring her and Conchita and stuff for the 15th birthday, which we still will do.
We went through Treptower Park a couple weeks ago. That was a live video where you got hit and harassed by some dudes. Idiots,
yeah.
It's so important to show people that this is still happening, and we are always in this queer community saying like, if something happens to you, always always notice it to the police.
Yeah.
Because otherwise it will not.
Yeah.
It will not be seen.
Which I never did before, because then this was quite a wave because I was live and then people saw it. I mean, if I go out in drag, it's really like I already go with, like, I always say, the hard neck, like okay, something could happen, so be aware. That same day I was just walking out my door, going to the car, to the cab, fucking faggot, blah blah blah, and gay bastard, so screaming. Then we had this drag walk, what I do also live with Sheila Wolf, and she got hit by a bottle of water from some group of young men. I went to shooting, and actually we just went to private with friends and had a beer after all this day and tripped in the park along the riverside and stuff. And then was first a stupid German who like, hey, you should dress like a man and stuff. And I said, I am dressed like a man, get used to it. And then he's like, then behave like a man and fuck off. But he followed us the whole time, really going on our nerves. And then was this group, I have to say it was just one who was like, you, I hate you, fuck off. And like really, well, I don't know if he thought he has to be the big man in front of his friends or stuff. And even his friends tried to keep him down and stuff. And then I had another friend from Amsterdam, another drag, and she tried to talk to him, and he was just aggressive. Then he saw that I have the camera, he got more aggressive and stuff. Then he tried to kick and beat my friend from Amsterdam, Snorella. Because, honey, I'm prepared for it. I'm so angry about all these idiots who think they have to say something about you. Just do your own fucking business and leave me alone.
Definitely.
You know? That's because it was live. It made a big wave, and I had interviews and stuff.
Yeah. What would you think should the queer people do, which are like afraid of going out and afraid of being attacked? Like, what can we do about it?
I mean, of being afraid, you can't do nothing against being afraid if not being a group or stuff. If you're alone, I also feel insecure and stuff. Sometimes it depends on the day. Sometimes I feel strong, sometimes not, and weak. And so, but I think we always should like not let it happen, in sense of like say something like, oh, stop, or it's wrong, or fuck off, or don't touch me, whatever, or don't insult me. And if it comes to this, then you like really report it to the police. It's like, that's what I had to learn also. And from the police said, like, even if they insult you, it's a hate crime, report it. Because the official statistics from Berlin is ridiculous. It's like 490 cases a year of stuff, and I think this happens in 3 weeks in Berlin.
Yeah, and I think like
if you would report,
I'm reading 2 a day on Facebook, on Instagram, and I'm like, that can't work.
Report it to really like show it's massive, and then it's really, we have to stop it. Don't let it happen. Don't go and like, okay, I hope they don't do anything. If not, like, be loud, stop them, say it's wrong what they're doing. So like really
somehow like also surround yourself with your people if you're not feeling safe. Like I don't know. We also have that with some drag sisters of mine, like when they called me like, hey, I'm going to the club, but I'm not taking the cab, so maybe can you join me just to go by the subway? Yeah, definitely make sure your friends are safe, and don't be afraid of don't hesitate to ask your friends maybe, hey, can you join me for that, or can you at least stay on the phone, or let's FaceTime during that, or whatever.
No, but I want to say, if you don't feel for a fist fight, then don't do it. You don't have to do it, but don't let it happen, and be strong.
You are not alone.
Oh, God.
When I was looking for articles about you and everything, I mean, we know each other since like 3 years, something like that. But of course, I was preparing for this. But one thing I heard was that you and Robbie Williams kissed each other.
He kissed me.
For the protocol, he kissed me.
He kissed me. He came to me. Yeah, it was the finale of Voice of Germany, so the casting show. Oh. And then I was in drag, and then he was coming and singing his song, and I was like, come on, let's get up and dance and stuff. And then of course he saw us and was running around the stage, getting up, and then coming up to us, and then the chair next to us was empty. So he stood on the chair because I'm so tall and was singing to me, like for me. And then he was like kissing me in the whole audience.
I'm wet. So Gloria, it was so nice to have you here.
We're already done?
We're already done.
No!
Time
And I was
flies.
speaking English. I think my English is so
but
bad.
I did tell her. Follow Gloria on Instagram, follow me on Instagram, follow Taimi up on Instagram. Subscribe to this channel, comment,
Follow us,
like, support. Support is easy to tell you. Support is really easy. You just have to put on a comment, like just tell us what your favorite color is or what your favorite sentence from this show was, and this support, you know what I mean? So please
take care of each other.
Take care of each other. Go maybe in groups. Don't hesitate.
No elbows, just make arms. No elbows.
Hug each other.
Hug each other.
Yes.
And that's what we need.
Yes. Thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me.
Bye. Bye.